My name is Tarvarious Haywood, and this is not your traditional reel. It's what I call a package reel. It's where I tell my story through my work. Take a look. Protesters did say that today was a step in the right direction. In my 6-year career as a reporter, a completely separate group came in. Mackenzie, who doesn't love a good deal? I'm here on the north side of Kalamazoo where several fire departments are working to put out this fire. Anchored against their overturn of Roe versus Wade. More than 75% of Kalamazoo public safety officers don't live in the city of Kalamazoo. That was Vanya Joseph reporting. Now crews are mixed in with a little bit of producing. I worked in places like Great Falls, Montana for the past 2 days now, and people have been so generous to invite me into their homes. Depending on the driver you talk to, they say that driving conditions aren't that bad. Margarita meltdown is in full effect. Now check this out. West Michigan. This is what the building looks like right now on the north side. After construction. Right, I'm just ready for like pumpkin spice. A large though.
Well, you're in luck.
It's the football game we've all been waiting for, LSU versus Southern University. Just a few months into my most recent role as evening anchor for Fox 44 in Baton Rouge, Hurricane Ida hit South Louisiana in 2021.
Hurricane Ida is, yes, making her mark here down in St. Bernard Parish.
I was just as scared as everyone else. It was my first hurricane experience. I was one of several anchors who delivered around-the-clock coverage when Hurricane Ida made landfall, leaving thousands without power and claiming many lives. I want to turn things over now to Mitch McCoy. Mitch, if you can hear us, where are you now and how are things looking? Just looking at the video that we've seen over the past few hours, it just shows you the intensity of the storm and the seriousness of this storm. We have almost 650,000 people statewide right now without power. That's a lot of people. John, before you go, how was that drive coming from downtown to where you are now? Was that a really bad drive? And we want to take y'all to some video right now. This is Airline and Segan. As you can see how that wind, if you see the water, you can see how the wind is really whipping around out there. Before the big storm, I wanted to help people get prepared, but in a different way. I wrote and produced a 5-minute segment called Weathering the Silent Storm. I talked with professionals and real people about how big weather events can cause storm PTSD. Here's the story.
Possibly for the first time in its long and storied history, the party in New Orleans is over.
I understand the devastation requires more than one day's attention. It's going to require the attention of this country for a long period of time.
For some, not only are they still living with the physical damage Hurricane Katrina left behind,
you got so many people homeless right now because of that Katrina thing.
but the invisible damage as well.
It impacted me a lot to still that's hurt where I don't want to show it. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm still going through some stuff.
Washington lives in the 8th Ward in New Orleans. He survived several hurricanes and says each one leaves invisible scars that are hard to heal.
It's strange, bro. You never seem like you prepared for it, even if they tell you 2-3 days earlier that something coming, you make that move.
You know, so when you're hit with something that triggers, old feelings, old sensations of being trapped or being scared or being alone or, out of control, then even if it's not the same type of event, it's going to kick up all the same memories and the same feelings.
Lisa Head is a counselor at the Center for Emotional Healing in Baton Rouge. Head says we all are a little familiar with storm PTSD or anxiety. Triggers like rain, dark clouds, a smell, or a sight can cause worrying, stress, hyperventilating, or thinking the worst before a storm even hits.
You might find that you have nightmares, especially if you had big losses in the storm. You might, there might be grief. PTSD can look like a lot of things.
You will see some sobering reports of folks trapped in their homes, water coming up in Laplace right now.
The latest storm to hit our state, Hurricane Ida. You literally have to relive Ida almost
every single day when I walk in here. Every day, and it's frustrating.
Ida tore through LaPlace, leaving many like the Crumps flooded out of their homes. Troy Crump, his wife, and their 2 dogs have been living in this state-issued RV for 8 months. Crump is supposed to be enjoying his retirement, but it's hard when contractors run off with his money or just don't finish the job.
I lose sleep, I've gained weight, so it's not good for my health to be under the stress that I've been under dealing with this house.
Crump says with another hurricane season approaching, he is getting desperate.
Me and my wife even thought about looking at YouTube videos to try to complete some of the work. Just how desperate we're starting to get. And I'm telling you, if you've never been in this situation, you can't really understand what we're dealing with, what we're going through.
We're talking to them about their feelings. We help them normalize what they're feeling.
Tanisha Hubbard works with Louisiana Spirit. It's a federal-funded crisis counseling program that offers services like stress management and ways to deal with trauma when there is a presidential declared disaster, all at no cost.
Writing down those feelings, talking about it, saying, I'm scared, this is different. And then once you recognize what you're feeling and you acknowledge those feelings, then we can work to moving you past those feelings.
I would get out now. I mean, if you flooded with Rita, there's a good chance you're going to flood with this.
As you can see, things are becoming more and more intense. There are several floors that had all of the windows just blown out.
Lake Charles was hit back-to-back by hurricanes Laura and Delta in 2020.
Kind of approaching hurricane season with trepidation, with almost a bit of a PTSD from what we went through over the last couple years.
Lake Charles Mayor Nick Hunter has been a voice of reason in Louisiana, advocating for more federal dollars when big storms hit.
When someone sits down right now in this city and wants to talk about their feelings, their emotions, I guarantee you they're not only talking about COVID-19. I guarantee you they're talking about the storms as well.
To help with the mental recovery of a disaster, the city of Lake Charles used COVID funding and partnered with Lake Charles Memorial Hospital to get people the help they need.
And that's okay. So absolutely, mental health resources should be there. I'm not saying that we necessarily have enough, but I am saying that we've been mindful of that and that there are resources out there. If people are interested, if they're willing to take that step and ask for help, we can find them help.
It's a step that a lot of us are afraid to take but must. Louisiana is strong and all of us feel the pain in some way when these big storms hit us. Just know you are not alone and there are people out there willing to help in any way they can. We are in this together.
You got no girlfriend, do you? You can't say that in front of Daddy, right?
While in Louisiana, I created my own series called Louisiana Kids. One of my favorites was this 17-year-old powerlifter who was breaking records in his weight class.
My name is Lawson Navarre. We don't play around. Weight's feeling good today.
The senior at Denham Springs High is the International Powerlifting League world record holder in the 123-pound class, deadlifting 360 pounds and squatting 330. How does it feel when you lift?
It's like euphoric is the only word I can think of.
Lawson started lifting when he was a sophomore. The reason why? He didn't like his size.
Freshman, sophomore year, I was a smaller guy, like 90 pounds soaking wet, and I wasn't happy with that, so I started working out.
You can say weightlifting is sort of a family tradition.
My grandpa was a competitive bodybuilder way back when, about the 80s.
This tank here is Lawson's maternal granddad, Vaughn Whitehead.
And he had his own gym, so it runs in the family a little bit.
Not only is Lawson a powerhouse in the gym, but in the classroom as well. He's a member of the Junior and Senior National Honor Society with a 4.0 GPA and scored a 31 on his ACT.
Self-improvement is a huge thing. Like high school and your teenage years are the best time to work on yourself. Like, don't worry about what others are saying about you, what others are doing. Worry about yourself.
Lawson credits his late coach, Scott Mayfield, who was a mentor to him and a big part of Lawson's athletic journey.
Freshman year, he was diagnosed with cancer. So, you know, we tried to spend as much time with him as possible, coming to our high school meets and things like that. And then sophomore year, he unfortunately passed.
To honor his late coach over the next year, Lawson's plan is to lift, and lift some more to become the best in the state. Might I add that Lawson is a pretty good coach too.
Nice. There you go. Woo. Good stuff.
Tarvarious Haywood, Fox 44 News.
I'm done. All right, I ain't got no more in me.
My time in Michigan allowed me to report on several big issues, including the foiled kidnapping attempt of Governor Gretchen Whitmer, the 2020 elections, social protests, and of course COVID-19 and how it changed the world.
Guy, I want to see your football dance.
Viewers like to see personality. They want to see that you are just like them.
Say basketball is right around the corner too.
Can you hoop?
Of course. I used to be a member of the Fab Five in my previous life. No,
Yeah.
kidding.
He's been, you know, off camera holding that the whole show. You just didn't know at home. So.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you for putting me on blast, Will.
Yeah.
Chef is always cooking up something that looks good, but never brings us none though.
I know.
Chef, what's up with that, bro?
I know.
I got a question for you though. Pecan or pecan? Which one?
Pecan.
Pecan. All right, my man.
I'm wearing orange because of Halloween. It's the month of Halloween.
No, you.
Not for Tennessee.
You low-key a Vols fan. That's what it is.
No!
I'm gonna call it out.
My role as a husband and a father is something I don't take for granted. I recently decided to take a break from news in October of 2022 to be with my family. Time, attention, and affection is what I chose to invest in my family over a title or money.
And this is helping us walk with us the same way you are right now, walking with us, helping us, showing what we're doing.
My goal as a journalist is to connect with the viewer.
When you come on the news, I get excited.
Thank you so much for watching, man.
I agree with her too.
Hold our elected officials accountable. To get the whole story, an explanation, any sort of comment about the claims made against him, I went to John McDonough's home. I strive in finding answers for viewers, whether it's on or off air. That's one no. After another. 2 no's. After another. 3 no's. My passions include hunting and fishing, lifting weights, classic cars, and of course food.
There you go.
My food adventures have gotten me more than 5,000 followers on TikTok, 3,000 plus followers on IG, and over 1,000 on both Facebook and Twitter. Fatherhood and being married helped mold me into a positive role model. As a newsroom leader, I served as a mentor to young journalists who wanted to grow and take that leap to the next level.
Hey, this is meteorologist Matt Willoughby, speaking for Tarvarious, who is just an overall great guy. Even though he's not a meteorologist, he would just help me practice with my delivery, or he even helped me practice as if it was a whole entire newscast. So just doing those small things really helped me to get this job where I am today, which is Toledo, Ohio, as a meteorologist. And I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for him. So I'm thankful for him, and thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like a full A block, you can find that info in the description below.